Our job doesn't stop on the day of the party. Our job still continues even after the party because there's follow-up. If you don't grow, how do you run a business? If you don't grow, how do you sustain your business? I was so stressed out on my wedding day that my dress did not fit. Get a planner who respects your money, respects you, respects your partner, and respects the process. When I first started, I wanted business so bad that I would lowball myself. Yes, if you're willing to pay for the minute details or the frivolous details of your wedding or your party, get a planner budget involved in it. Oh, I'm just gonna have a dinner party, 30 guests. Okay. We found a venue for 30 people, well, 50 people. Then he started meeting people. Post something about events or post something to keep your audience engaged. That's how they know that you are a consistent planner.
Happy V Day.
Yes, V Day. I don't know, that V Day has stuck in my head for the last, like, since I launched 3 years ago.
Yeah. What inspired the name actually? V.
That's my name, V. Valerie.
Valerie. Oh, so
Valerie is my name, but I acronymed it because I have 3 children that have the letter E as their first initial.
Oh.
So there's Valerie, there's Elizabeth, Eliana, and Elijah.
Oh. While I was growing up, there's this. We have a neighbor, not in our apartment. It's like our building. Their building also there. So the mom name. She has 3 kids, 2 boys, 1 girl. Victor, Victory, and Victoria.
Yeah, see.
I love the names. I'm like, they really planned it. Yeah. So
now I have to find a name for my husband because he's kind of jealous that his name is not in there. But he'll be all right.
Yeah. I just love like sequence name and it's like creativity to it. Yeah.
And then it just rhymed because everybody calls me V anyway, so why not?
Yeah. Makes sense. Thank you for coming and happy V Day once again.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. Thank you so much. Was the journey? How was the drive?
It was a journey. I live in like Prosper, Salina area. It took me about an hour and a half to get here. An hour and a half. I don't come out here at all. So yeah.
Dallas is far from all those places.
Dallas is far. Dallas is huge.
And because people are getting off work, so it's going to be traffic.
Yes.
When there's no traffic, it's like maybe 4 to 5 maximum.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a journey.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Thank you for coming once again. Why event planning?
Several reasons. Why event planning? So I started event planning not really by choice. I just stepped into it because I've always been in the planning kind of space. In college, I was always planning house parties and college parties and things of that nature. And then it spun into my adult life. In Atlanta, I started with a group called Night Riders Entertainment. We were promoters. We were basically party promoters that we would hold parties at different locations, whether it was a club or office space or wherever. We just held parties. And then it just grew from there. I was doing events for church, my church in Atlanta. And then like that's where I found my niche. That's where I found my passion. And I just decided to why not just, flourish it and grow it.
That makes sense. When do you decide how do you know the business actually grew? Because I never know.
How did I know the business actually is growing?
It's grown.
It's grown? Because I've grown. I have grown from the little girl I was that just wanted to do parties into doing it for a purpose, doing it as a way to help people solve solutions. There are solution solvers that solve any problems you may have. But then there's solution solvers that solve party planning. Party planning is not for the faint of heart. You can't just wake up and say, I'm going to plan a party. There's so many logistics that go into it that it overwhelms and stresses out the average Joe. So that's how I knew it's grown, because I've grown. I love it. I nurture it, and I want more.
That makes so much sense. So what does event planning, what is event planning work like? Let's say I want to do a party. What does event planning people do?
We make sure your head is on straight. That's what we do. So not only that, but we make sure your party goes on seamlessly. Your things like your vendors arrive on time. Your vendors have the right equipment. Your vendors are following the SLAs. SLAs means service level agreements. So anything on the contract, the vendors are abiding by. We make sure that your venues are correct. Like, okay, you see how I told you there's a science to what you do and lighting and aperture and all that stuff? It's the same thing with event planning. It's not just, let's just throw a party. Like I said, there's logistics. There is things involved in it to make that party happen. And with me, I'm meticulously detailed when it comes to things like timelines, things like venue choice, things like food choice, things like anything that involves the party aspect to go well. I have to be in the details.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. So now, if I'm doing, let's say, my wedding is coming up, I hire event planning. What are the things? Like, some couple have to call photographer, have to call videographer, have to call all the vendors. So event planner is in charge of taking care of that and
Everything.
stuff.
And
So
being organized.
the thing that I think it's confusing to me is that couple have to tell you everything first.
Yes. So it's like project management. I'm a project manager as well. So it's like project management where we have the initiation stage, we have the planning stage, we have the monitoring, we have the execution, and the closeout. So it's the same thing. Initiation, we sit down with you, get your specs. You can't just like when you get the specs of a client, what kind of pictures they want. We want to know your head. We want to know what's inside your head. We want to know your budget. We want to know how much you're willing to spend.
You're trying to spend.
We want to know your ideas. We want to know everything about what you want out of this party, wedding, whatever it may be. And then if it's not feasible, then we'll burst your bubble. But we'll burst your bubble in a good way. So it's the same aspect. That's the initiation stage. Then now you have the execution and planning stage where you have to actually do the sourcing. Sourcing your vendors, sourcing photographer, videographer, caterer, venues, flowers, and decorators, rentals. The list goes on and on. So we're sourcing those. Not only are we sourcing those, we're reading contracts. I'm also an auditor by trade. I know how to read contracts. I know how to audit those contracts. So every single vendor I find, I'm reading the contracts, making sure there's all the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed. There's nothing that has been missed by the client. Like I told you, an average Joe will not sit there and read the fine print. We have to, so that you don't get, can I say screwed?
Yeah, go ahead.
So you don't get screwed at the end of the day. So that's why it's so pertinent to have an event planner, because like I said, the average person will not take the time to meticulously read through the details of what their parties entails and what their contracts entails. And then we go from there and then plan it, execute it, close it out. And that's another thing, is that closeout. Our job doesn't stop on the day of the party. Our job still continues even after the party, because there's follow-ups. There's things, venues, we have to make sure these venues give you back your deposits if applicable. These vendors give you back your deposit if applicable. That nothing is broken. If something is broken, oh Jesus, then we're definitely in the details after the party. So that's why an event planner is very important. That's after you dance, you do your spray dance, you're done. We're not done.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. So what advice would you give, like, let's say a couple trying to, let's say, do a party or do a wedding? What if they're not trying to get event planning, like, I'm trying to do my wedding, I don't want to get event planning because I can plan it myself. What advice would you give to them?
Get an event planner. You have to find it in your budget. Like I tell my clients, if you're willing to pay for the minute details or the frivolous details of your wedding or your party, get a planner budget involved in it. A planner will help you every step of the way. Like I told you, all the logistics, all the stuff that we do behind the scenes. Y'all don't see that. Y'all don't see the fires we have to put out. Y'all don't see the hairs that we have to pull. You don't see the stress levels that goes in a wedding or a party. My advice to any couple out there, get a planner and put it in your budget. No matter how tight your budget is, you have to get a planner. You have to. Still speaking of weddings, a wedding, there's more details involved. There's more emotions involved. There's more, everything is heightened because of a wedding. Not only budget or monetary, But the emotions of the couple, especially the bride, this is the biggest day of her life. This is what she wanted since she was a little girl in her white dress and this big old grand wedding that she's been waiting for all her life. So of course, she's going to be a bridezilla once in a blue moon. You have to have a planner that will know how to put your head on straight, because your head will not be straight at all. I planned my own wedding 15 years ago. Let me tell you a story. Planners weren't big then 15 years ago. I knew it wasn't that big. So I planned my whole wedding from beginning to end. The stress I went through, the fights I was fighting with my bridesmaids, even till the day before my wedding. Me and a bridesmaid fought over a shebi or something like that. I was so stressed out on my wedding day that my dress did not fit. My dress was falling off, literally. You know how you're walking down with your father? I'm holding my dress like this because I had not eaten in week. Like that week, I forgot to eat because I was so stressed. I'm walking down the aisle, my dress is falling down. That's why I said get a planner to hold your head and your hand.
So couples, you're doing a party, get a vendor,
get a plan. Get a planner. Put it in your budget.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. Thank you so much for sharing. And I believe a lot of people want to learn from others by listening to their stories. Like, thank you for telling the story of your wedding and stuff. Yeah, that makes so much sense.
And get a planner that's not out just for like the monetary gain. That's another advice I would tell a couple or people parting. Get a planner who respects your money, respects you, respects your partner, and respects the process. Because anybody can say, oh, I plan weddings, or I do this, I do that. But a real planner with the passion, with the heart, with the respect is what ultimately will get you through that planning season, that wedding season, and it get you happy. What is the mindset behind
the mindset behind the growth?
If you don't grow, how do you run a business? If you don't grow, how do you sustain your business? Just like Fawaz, I know you in Richardson. You didn't have this space.
Yeah.
If you don't grow, you are incapacitated to this bubble that you will never get out of. And this bubble, there's so much out there, outside of this bubble. How will you get those clients, those luxury clients, those clients with the bigger budgets, those clients with the bigger pockets, if you don't grow? You, like with me, I have to grow in my craft. I have to, because there's so much more out there that I know I can get, I can gain, and I can learn from. So you have to grow to sustain, keep, and maintain your business. If that's what you want. Yes, you can sit down. If you don't want to maintain your business, that's fine. You can be the little $500 planner. Great. But you will never go outside of that bubble. Never. If you don't grow.
Well, let's say, like, the mindset behind it, why I say mindset was that, a lot of people want to grow because of a certain thing. Like, oh, I want to grow because I want this. Oh, I want to be rich because I like expensive stuff. I want to be rich so I can afford my
there's nothing wrong with that.
So that's a mindset, right?
Yeah.
That's why you want to be rich. So what was the mindset behind you being?
Because there's so much more people out there that I can help. There's so much. That's it. I like to call myself Olivia Pope of everything because I'm very resourceful. And ask anybody who knows me, I'm a very resourceful person.
Olivia Pope, right?
Yes, Olivia Pope. Ask anybody who goes to NCA. Shout out to my church, New Covenant House, Dallas. Ask anybody who knows me. I know how to be resourceful, and I know there's so much more I can do, so much more I can help, so much more people I can, foster that relationship with. The world is vast. The world is changing. The world is growing.
Yeah.
How can you just sit there and not grow with it? How? That's my mindset.
Let's say I want to start an event planning business. What are the mistakes that you made that you won't want somebody starting to make?
Hey, there's mistakes upon mistakes. Know your worth. Know your worth. Know your worth. I can't say that enough. Know your worth. When I first started, I wanted business so bad that I would lowball myself. Yes, I love helping people. I love being resourceful. I love being the solution to every problems. But you have to know. I had to know that that's worth something, not just pennies. Before I even became an LLC, I used to help people just do free planning and free stuff, it was exhausting. It was exhausting, not only physically but mentally, because you'll help these people do their events. They're not paying you, they're not valuing you, they're undermining you, they're talking to you anyhow. And then it got me questioning my abilities in myself. So if you're ever out there trying to start an event planning business, go ahead, do it, but know your worth. Go out there, research, talk to other event planners, network, find out what they're charging. Because that's what I started doing. That's why my prices are what they are right now, because I started networking, I started growing, and I started researching what the worth of an event planner is. I'm not even charging half of what I'm supposed to be charging, but I know where I'm going. So know your worth and charge for it.
Thank you. Know your worth and add tax.
And add tax. And that was another mistake I made. I wasn't taxing. Like when I did my taxes last year, Jesus, do you know how much I paid in taxes? But yes. And do it legitimately. Open up an LLC. There's nothing wrong with actually doing it legitimately. There's so many benefits in opening up a business through the state of Texas legitimately that one doesn't know. So yes, whoever's trying to do that out there, to open up an LLC. There are so many benefits and so many grants that are only available for LLCs.
Yeah, thank you. So let me phrase this question this way. So when do you go from, oh, I just need work, I just need something to do, to oh, I'm trying to get okay, I'll tell you a story about, let me use photography as photography an example. Before, all I just need is I'm trying to get myself out there. I just need to shoot this person, call a lot of model. Hey, can you come there to this day? Let's shoot, let's do this. So when do you go from that stage to, oh, I'm just trying to take only 2 works this week, only 2 works this month? Does that make sense?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
And
So
exactly what you're talking about. That was me. But like I said, going back to the last question, I started realizing what my worth is. And I started realizing how much people invalue you if you don't know your worth and if you don't charge your worth. I was doing all these events for free, exhausting myself physically and mentally, missing time out with my family, trying to do all these events. So now I'm at a point, that's why I'm at a point right now, if, God forbid, knock on wood, I don't get 20, 30 clients, I'm good. If I get at least maybe 5 really, really good clients that not only know my worth, value me, and charge and pay my worth, I'm good with those 5 for the year. Because I actually know that there are people out there that will pay and that will value you. It's all about that. It's all about knowing your worth. And I'm going to keep saying it and keep pounding on it. It's all about knowing your worth and charging for it. That's how you're going to get to from the stage of I need clients to I need the right clients.
So the right client is better than just any client.
The right clients is better than any clients. There's a phrase that I like so much. I think it's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. Having a good name is better than riches or gold. And also, what does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Those are my two favorite quotes in the world, because they hold so much value and they mean so much.
Thank you. That's so powerful. I really love. I'm a fan of quotes.
Yeah.
So I love quotes, and I love it. Yeah, it's it makes sense. It makes me think deep, and
Deeper.
It makes me.
And that
think
goes
deeper.
back to your mindset. Yeah. Where is your mindset right now? Do you want to keep in that bubble? Do you want to just get any of your clients just for the heck of it, just to post on Instagram? Who will help? Who many client helps? If the client is not the right client, and you're doing more work. By not getting the right clients than getting the right clients. If you know what I mean, you're doing twice as much work that you would need to. It's unnecessary.
That is true. Yeah, I stress myself for a lot of people. I don't even work with them anymore.
We all did, my brother.
Yeah,
we all did. It's part of the growing pains.
Yeah, it's part of the process. Yeah. So, tell me a story about your favorite memory with the clients. And you tell me another one with your
least favorite. Let me start with my least favorite. Let's start with that. Let me start with this one. This was not my first client under Vee Events. It was one of my clients that I did. literally, we had started off with 30 guests. Oh, I'm just gonna have a dinner party, 30 guests. Okay. We found a venue for 30 people, well, 50 people. Then he started meeting people. Then we're adding more guest counts. We're adding more guest count. Make a long story short, we had to change the venue like 3 times because he started adding more people. And the last time we actually found a great venue that fit about 150 people, 200 people, right? But the venue was double booked. I did not know that. And this was a week to his party, a week. I said, God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Like, literally, I just started driving around. And that's why I said, like, having a discerning spirit and having God on your side, gosh, it works. That day, this is going on maybe 4 days to the party. Still no venue. I'm driving around. Lo and behold, one of my contacts calls me and says, hey, this venue is available in Plano. Mind you, I was in Arlington, trying to find a venue.
Yeah, that's an hour away.
An hour away. When I got that call, I quickly marked race and went to Plano. Signed that paperwork. And so it was a little bit more expensive, but took the client there. He loved it. How I was able to get away with that venue 3 days to the party. Just 3 days to the party. I don't know. It was just literally God. That was my favorite. Actually, my favorite good and bad story. Let me put it that way. At the end of the day, the party ended up doing 250 people. Mind you, from 30 people.
That's wow.
250 people.
Yeah, I stopped asking clients about number of guests. I stopped because when I asked them, they just say the list, like the list number. Oh, we're having only 50 guests. So every time I ask, they're always saying like none of them ever say the right people. So I just don't stress myself about how many guests are you having. So every price is the same for me now.
But you know what I started doing? Because I also have staff that work with me. So on my contract, if it says if you actually go above the agreed number of people, you owe a certain amount because I have to get more staff. One thing I asked God when I started this business legitimately is, God, I cannot do this by myself. I've seen other planners who do this by themselves. I cannot do this by myself. And lo and behold, God has sent me 6 amazing women. Oh my God. There's 6 Valeries out there. So literally.
Are they all named Valerie?
Yes. They're not, their names are not Valerie.
Okay.
But there's 6 amazing women that are my ride and live. I'm not going to say ride or die. My ride and live girls for every event. Ask anybody about me. I don't play about my girls.
Yeah, I think I've met all of them.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say they want to hire me now for pictures or something. They're like, oh, I want a professional photographer. There's a difference between photographer and assistant photographer.
What is your definition of professional? Because the average person does not know what a professional photographer is.
Some people are professional, but they don't know they are.
That's what I would ask the person. What is your definition of a professional? Do you want somebody who's Instagram famous, or do you want somebody that's actually good? That's what I would ask.
Okay, so thank you for that. Now I will direct the question to you. So how do you define like a vendor you want to work with? How do you define, like, is it by like the work that they've done, or because they are popular or something?
No, popularity up. No. How I vet my vendors, relationship. I'm a big relationship person. How we vibe, that's number one. How we vibe, how we connect. That's number one. That's even before I even go on Instagram. If we have a good connection, then I would want to go on Instagram and find out what you're about. After we connect, go on your Instagram, look at your pictures, if you have a website. You have to have a website. I don't care. You have to have a website. Website is number one. And another thing is how you vibe with my clients. One thing I do is I vet all my vendors, but I let my clients vet the vendors too, by having them talk to them. Every vendor I find for them, they talk to. I never book a vendor without my client's approval or my clients actually talking to the vendor themselves. Especially with MCs. There's no way you can look on a MC's Instagram and say, oh, that's my MC. It's off of vibes. So every MC I onboard, my clients have to talk to. So that's one. So basically, relationship, websites, and how my clients vibe.
Relationship, website, and vibe.
Yep.
So our WV. Yeah, so
Yep.
yeah, I just it's good to create shortcuts so you can remember everything
Yes,
very fast.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, so thank you for that. I ask everybody that come on the show this question. It's a two-in-one question. What's one thing about what you love? What's one thing about what you do that you love and you will want it to continue? And what is one thing about what you do that you don't like at all and you don't want to see it happening anymore?
That's easy. One thing that I love that I would want to continue is a relationship. There's a group relationship that I have with my clients. It's one thing to plan a party, make it go well, and exit the building. But it's another thing to actually have a good and long-standing relationship with your clients. Because not only are they going to refer other people to you, but they're going to use you for every one of their milestone events in their lives. They're going to make you a part of their lives.
Yeah.
I like to think of my clients as family. And what you would do for family, you will do above and beyond. And that's what I like to do for my clients. What you will not do, same and goes there. One thing that I hate and I wish that would go away, again, going back to the value of planners. I wish people would know the importance of it and pay for it and not question it, not question us. We know what we're doing. We have the expertise. Not only do we have the expertise, we have the experience. You hired us because we have the experience.
Yeah.
Why question everything we do? Why question every aspect of every process to get your party to where it needs to be? Just trust us.
Yeah. So thank you for that. Now I'm going to rephrase. Because of your answer, I'm going to ask this question. Have you ever experienced a rude client before? Thank you for that. Tell us a story about it. I like story.
Hey, rude client. Hey, Jesus. Which story do you want?
Everything.
Everything. We don't have time.
Yeah, let's go with
We don't
your
have time.
favorite one. You have a favorite.
I have a favorite one, but I cannot disclose it right now because I'm still processing it. I'm still getting over it. It still hurts my heart because I told you, like, I like to think of my clients as family, and I go above and beyond for my family. So why wouldn't I do the same for my clients? Not to divulge too much information. She didn't read her contract. That's something you got to do. I'm sorry, you just got to do. She didn't read her contract. And one thing our us planners we're not slaves. We're not at your beck and call 24/7. I have a family. I have 3 kids. I have a husband. I'm not going to pick up your phone and call at 10 o'clock at night. So things like that is why things with this client went sour. You didn't read your contract. You didn't read the terms. You didn't read the fact that you're not getting your money back. And I'm not at your beck and call. So because she did not understand that, it just went left, really left. Lo and behold, I have washed my hands clean of that client. I wish her well. And we're just going to move on.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. I read something. Actually read something on Instagram. My wife tagged me on the.
I think your wife is a planner too, right?
Yeah, that was how we met. She planned her sister's wedding, and that was how we met. Actually, she was planning the wedding. Yeah. So she tagged me or something on Instagram story. It was about another vendor. They said the vendor should return their money. They did not do what they asked. Everything the vendor promised, they did not deliver. They did not do anything. The wedding was horrible. That they booked how do I put it? That she wanted a limousine, like a limousine for the to go to the wedding. That they bring a Ford Edge to pick her up, like a lot of stuff. Why do you think that happens? And why do you think that happens? Like, because I've seen like 2 of it, in past months.
I can't really say per se why that happens. I really can't say. The only thing I can advise you is just vet your vendors and vet your planners from top to bottom. It's unfortunately that stuff like that happens, but each planner is different, and each planner doesn't have the same level of integrity. So unfortunately, I can't put up my finger on it. I don't know why.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, so the RWV, which is
relationship
website and Vibe. Before I can work with somebody as a client, I'm sorry, a client
vendor.
as a vendor, no, as a client.
Okay.
I'm trying to work with you, but before I can work with you, I have to know you've worked with some. I have to know somebody you've worked with before.
So
I don't just want to.
yeah.
I just don't want to book you because just want
because
to
of vibes. Because of
I want to. Yeah, I want to book you because of other people. What do you think of like clients like that?
Definitely, I love clients like that because they're doing their homework, they're doing their research. This is a big investment. This is an investment, and with any investments, unfortunately your ROI is not the money back. Your ROI is the experience that you get along the way, the experience you get after your wedding or your party. So you want to do all that. You want to do your homework before you invest in this investment. So definitely do your homework research. Call around, read Google reviews, wherever you can do. Whatever you can do.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. So I don't want to take too much of your time. I already took a lot.
That was good. Is it over?
Yeah, it's going to be soon, but I like to ask this other question, which is there anything you want to talk about? Any question you always want to answer, but nobody ever asks you?
Any questions that they want to ask
or something you want to talk about? I want to talk about this, and this is an opportunity.
The only thing is, I'm just going to harp in and is just value your planners and put it in your budget, because I've seen so many parties flop because they don't have a planner, they don't have a good planner. I've seen so many things happen, even with the good planners, things are happening, unfortunately. But value them. Just like you value your boss at work, just like you value your house, just like you value what is valuable to you, value your planner. This person, it was hired to make your wedding, party, whatever have you not, great from beginning to end. People see the end results, people see the party, but they don't see what goes on in the middle. They don't see the sleepless nights, they don't see the headaches, they don't see the stress, they don't see everything that goes on that we have to do and we have to take. And I wish people would value us to the point where we're not being questioned, we're not being devalued, we're being paid for our services that we're rendering, and we're being thanked. Thank them. That's another thing. Thank your planner, even at the end of the party. Even if it didn't go well, still thank your planner, because your party went on somewhere or the other. Even if it wasn't to your standard, your audience doesn't know that. Just say thank you. It goes a long way. Value them, thank them, and move it along.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. And the last question of the day is the name of the show. What next?
What's next? What is next?
What's next of Vee? Vee?
What is next for Vee Events and Designs? What is next is, like I said, is just to keep growing. I would like to grow my team. I would like to be able to handle multiple events per weekend or per day, because right now there's only one. I can't do more than one. I would like to be able to outsource my team to actually plan events on their own. Corporate events is another big one. I have two corporate events this year, which it's a little it's on another level, but I love it. So that is what's next for event. Keep growing till we take it over. So Vee Events and Design is a household name.
Yeah. Thank you. So I lied about that being the last question. Something else pops into my head now. How do you get clients?
Referrals is a big one. I do a lot of the money I pay on Instagram ads right now. Money I pay on Instagram ads, and just keep being consistent with social media. No, even if you don't post an event, post something about events, or post something to keep your audience engaged. That's how they know that you are a consistent planner. Being consistent on social media. Yes, there was a person that told me that, yes, you can do organic. What the heck is organic? No, let me pay for it. I've tried to do organic. Let me put some money in. It takes money to make money. So that's how I feel right now. So yeah, that's it.
Because you said it takes money to make money, I don't want to say counter that. So funny thing about my Instagram, I've been doing adverts since, let's say I was on 5K followers. I've been doing adverts
I see
like
you.
almost every day. Now the problem is that I stopped doing it. I said I'm going to test the February stuff. I'm going to test it by not doing any adverts. I didn't do it, and my follower grew. I think Instagram, when you start giving them money, they won't do anything to your account. Yeah, I noticed. Like, I'm telling you, like I never tell anybody. This is the first time I'm sharing it. Once they see you giving them money, they don't post your post the way they should post it. They are waiting for you to spend the money. So I didn't do it February. I'm very serious. I didn't do it February at all. This February, I said I'm not doing it. And now this March, I never spend anything. And now it's like
You're still growing.
It's growing.
But
like
you know why? Because you're being consistent. Because I have noticed that about your page. You are being consistent with the content, and you are being intentional with the content you put out there. Like I see on your board right now, you literally have content for each and every day, which is beautiful. I don't think it's because of the money. I think it's because of your consistency in your content. That's why it's still growing. I'm not. Unfortunately, I'm not there yet. I'm still trying to get to the consistency part. And having different content more consistently. But honestly, I think that is the biggest reason why you're still growing, because you have consistent, different content every day of the week.
Thank you. I did not look at it that way now. I did not counter it anymore.
Not because of money, right? Unfortunately, I'm still at the point where I have to spend money. Because who's going to know you? Like the way my Instagram ads work, especially as an event planner, you pick your region. And you pick your region that you want to grow out there, and you pick your best pictures, or you pick your best videos. And that's who sees it. I mean, just on the Instagram ads alone, let me disclose, I spent about, it's not a lot to some people, but to some people it's a lot. I've spent about $600 to $700 a month on Instagram ads. I've already gotten, just this month, I've gotten 4 bookings at my full price. So it works for me.
Yeah. That makes so much sense. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing, and thank you so much for all the word of wisdom you shared. Saints, thank you so much.
Wisdom? You are nice, really.
Yeah, that's it. And thank you so much for coming in the show.
Thank you for having me, and this show is going to blow. I honestly believe it is going to blow, just like your Instagram and just like your business will.
Thank you, amen. Thank you so much, and thank you for coming once again.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and that's it.
Bye, y'all. Vee Events in the building.